Remember when I said I was going to get an opening? Well, this is what we have.
Hey everyone, so I'm just back here to play another game. See, this week I'm going to go into a little known series called Mario. I mean, I've never heard of it. Because you see, I had so much fun last episode playing Shovel Knight, I wanted to play another really fun platformer, and everyone kept saying, Mario, Mario, Mario this, whatever. So it should be pretty good, but I've never played a Mario game before. I don't know which one to start with. So I'm just going to go online. I've never gone online before because I got dial-up internet and see what people have to say about things. It's internet. Toxic. Why do people keep saying things like that? What is that? I can't handle it. People too mean. Oh, look, the microphone. Can I help you?
You okay there, boss?
Yeah, I'm fine. You know, I just get those headaches after those corporate meetings.
You know our random reviewer? Well, he kind of, died.
He died after only 4 reviews? Well, can't we just clone another one?
I mean, we could, but unfortunately, this one kind of got proficient at magic, and he's kind of favored by, the video game gods. Yeah, Gabe New will be with you.
Gabe New will be with you too.
I mean, we could possibly have somebody else do the review if you have anyone in mind.
Random intern?
Nah, he's too tall.
Random anime fan?
Honestly, I don't think he can read.
Random janitor?
I'm pretty sure he'd say yes, but I'm pretty sure he's on vacation. I mean, what about that random quotation guy?
We don't speak his name. Plus he went rogue, so we couldn't get him even if we wanted to.
Oh, if that's the case, I guess we're kind of out of options unless you want to take a crack at it. You're not too busy, boss.
What a pain. Well, how long will it be to bring him back from the dead?
Let's see if our people really crack down. About a whole episode.
I thought I was promoted past this stuff. Alright, whatever. What game is it this week?
Mario Odyssey is this week's game.
You mean part of the most famous video game franchise of all time? One of the highest rated games of all time? One of the fastest selling Marios of all time? On one of the fastest selling consoles of all time? And it's portable? I might be able to do this. I just might be able to swing this by this week. We'll see. Mario. This man needs no introduction. To put in perspective just how popular this guy is, they did a study in which they found that American kids recognize Mario more often than Mickey Mouse, which is impressive because Disney owns literally everything. This makes sense because Mario is the best-selling video game franchise by far. To put in perspective, Pokemon and Call of Duty, the next 2 best-selling video game franchises, their sales combined barely beat Mario. Not bad, Nintendo, not bad. Even with Mario's titanic presence in the video game industry, there just wasn't enough to save Nintendo's first HD console, the Wii U. Even with some stellar Mario games within the first year of the Wii U's release, it barely sold over 3 million units that year, and only 13 million units in its entire lifetime. So when Nintendo began working on their next console, they realized they didn't want another blunder like the Wii U on their hands. So Nintendo called together their video game making wizards to craft an exceptional lineup for the Switch's launch year. And in 2017, Nintendo unveiled that launch lineup to the world. And they put things like Zelda, Splatoon, ARMS, Sonic, and Pokemon
And Xenoblade.
all on the Switch in their first year. And of course, Mario. Quite a few Mario games actually. Everything from a crossover like Mario plus Rabbids and Mario Kart. And of course, the game we're talking about today, Mario Odyssey.
Mario. Grew up on this thing. But I haven't played one since I became a manager at this company, so I'm actually pretty excited to see what a game that helped save Nintendo is filled with. You know, with a name like Mario Odyssey, that's some big shoes to fill. The Odyssey is a freaking Odyssey. Well, you know, I'm nothing if not cynical, so let's just plop this in and see what Mario Odyssey is gonna give me.
So the game begins, and well, Mario's fighting Bowser to save Princess Peach. Turns out Bowser's trying to marry Peach in this one, and Mario ain't having any of that. But Mario gets defeated, and I'm happy. That's harder than I thought. And then he platforms through some kingdoms and runs into Bowser again, and beats him and wins the game.
There it is, Mario Odyssey, a perfect review. No, I can't do that, it's way too short. YouTube likes longer videos. Alright, I'll do something I'm actually kind of good at. Not reviewing, but money. Here we go. 5-ish ways Mario Odyssey made millions. Perfect. Roll the tape. Nintendo filled the bunch of crooks. Okay, not really. But Nintendo isn't above using other people's popular works. For example, the Odyssey. Obviously, the Odyssey is one of the most popular books in all of fiction. And Nintendo kind of took a lot of cues from that story into this game. Not only with just the name, but just how they conveyed the story of Mario Odyssey. For example, the game begins in medias res, which means in the middle of things, which was a literary term made popular by epic poems around the Trojan Wars, like the Iliad, the Aeneid, and of course, the Odyssey. And not only were they copying literary terms from the Odyssey, they also kind of used the same plot. Because, tell me if this sounds familiar. A hero travels across many lands, overcomes many obstacles to get back to their loved one, to prevent them from marrying somebody that they didn't really want to marry. Also, the term Odyssey has kind of evolved from just referring to Odysseus and his grand adventure back to his home of Ithaca to just kind of becoming a shorthand for a grand adventure. Nintendo definitely want to encapsulate that sense of adventure in Mario Odyssey by having it really feel like you're traveling around the globe. Because you go from everything from like a South America aesthetic to someplace based off of the United States to Japan. And another awesome detail they added to really capture this feeling was each map was a travel brochure. And you know, if Mario really was traveling from one distant place to another that he's never been to before, of course he's going to want a travel brochure. He doesn't want to get lost. I know, you guys might be skeptical that Mario Odyssey is similar to a gacha, free-to-play mobile game. But unfortunately, you're kind of wrong, and let me explain before you guys get too upset. You see, one of the reasons that those types of games do so well and make so much money is because they, like Mario Odyssey, kind of get you addicted to the game. And they do this by rewarding you and giving you that dopamine rush by either completing a level or accomplishing some task. Dopamine being the chemical in your brain that makes you feel happy and rewarded whenever you accomplish something. And at some point, those mobile free-to-play gacha games begin making it so the fastest way to get that dopamine rush, other than just playing it normally, I guess, is to withhold it behind a paywall. So if you want to get it faster, you have to pay money for it. And a lot of people do, and that's one of the reasons mobile games make all of the money, I believe. And yes, there are other games that do a similar thing, like with Breath of the Wild, the Korok seeds and shrines to give you a dopamine rush for getting those, or defeating a divine beast. Or another game, Monster Hunter World, achieves a similar thing with fighting a monster. You get a small dopamine rush from breaking a monster's part, or when you finally fell the creature and get those awesome rewards so you can make your next set of armor. However, I believe that more people have played Candy Crush than either of those, so it's at least in my opinion, an easier comparison to make. And how Mario Odyssey does this is with its moons, and to a lesser extent the coins and purple coins found around various kingdoms, but mainly the moons. They're hidden behind almost every single platforming challenge you do. You do this platforming challenge, you get a moon. You do that platforming challenge, you get a moon. And how Mario Odyssey, I feel like, does this better than all the other games I mentioned before, is that no matter what challenge you do, you get the same reward. And because you get the same reward from every platforming challenge, no challenge is really disappointing because you go into it knowing what you're going to get out of it. And because there's hundreds and hundreds of moons in this game, you're going to constantly be getting that dopamine rush because almost anywhere you go, you're going to find a challenge that's going to give you a moon. And it's awesome. And unlike those mobile gacha free-to-play games, you don't have to pay to keep playing with Mario Odyssey, so you can just get those dopamine rushes as long and as often as you want, all until you run out of moons. Also, because the Switch is a mobile and home console, you never need to stop playing Mario Odyssey. Pandering to fans seems like the obvious thing a company should do if they want to please their fans. That's not always the case, because just because it's a good idea doesn't mean it works well in a video game. But luckily for Nintendo, they're pretty good at making video games, so they were able to implement a lot of the things that fans wanted into a video game really well. And also, Nintendo's not exactly known for pandering to fans. They like to go to the beat of their own drum. When everyone was wanting HD consoles, Nintendo was like, nah, hold on. Here's a slightly more powerful GameCube, but with some motion controls. Have fun, kids. And at first people were like, oh, what? But then, the Wii sold about 20-ish million more consoles than its competitors, and let's see if my math is right. Okay, come on, each consoles, it's a couple $100, and yeah, just console sales alone, Nintendo made about $4 billion more than the competitors that generation. One of the things Mario fans had been wanting for years was to be able to customize Mario, and obviously Nintendo's not going to let you completely change Mario's physical appearance because it's really iconic, and also Mario without a mustache is just absolutely terrifying. But you can now make Mario wear almost any outfit you can think of. You want a dapper looking Mario? Go for it. You want a Mario just in his underwear? I mean, it's not my cup of tea, but go for it. You want a samurai Mario? Go for it. You want a solid gold Mario? That one costs a lot, but go for it. Do you want an invisible Mario so you don't even have to look at Mario? Okay, well, this one's actually pretty hard to get, but by golly, you could go for it. Another huge thing that Mario fans had been wanting for years was to go back to the more sandboxy type Mario games. Yeah, Galaxy and Galaxy 2 were masterpieces, but people were wanting more that Mario 64 sunshine feeling. And Nintendo was like, alright, we'll give you that, and do you one better. We're gonna make it so you don't get kicked out after you get a Shine Sprite or a star or whatever. After you get a moon, you can just go on to the next one. You know why they did that? So you can get that sweet, sweet dopamine rush we were talking about earlier, man. One of the most impressive things Mario Odyssey was able to pull off was it was able to pander to two opposing sets of fans at the exact same time. Because some people have been wanting Mario to be harder for years, and other people, well, they enjoy easy games. Because Mario Odyssey has so many moons in each kingdom, and you only need a small percentage of those moons in that kingdom to move on in the game, you can kind of customize the game's difficulty by yourself. You want something easy? Well, don't do any of the hard moons, just do the easy ones and have fun that way. Want something a bit more challenging? Overcome any obstacle in your way, or collect all the moons in a kingdom. It's really up to you, and it's brilliant. It's genius. This game. It's great. Nostalgia sells. That's pretty common knowledge in the business world. I mean, that's one of the reasons that Disney's making billions of dollars, so much money, off of just re-releasing their old movies with a fresh coat of paint. Mario Odyssey is full of nostalgic references. I mean, just look at all the different costumes Mario can wear. There's so many references to old Mario games in here, it's actually pretty spectacular. Then there's New Donk City, which this is pretty much just a giant love letter to Mario's first appearance ever, Donkey Kong. And the mayor in the city is even Pauline from that game. Plus, Mario goes back to his 8-bit roots in some sections, and it plays pretty spectacularly. And also, towards the end of the game, like I don't want to spoil it for people that haven't played, but there's an entire kingdom that's just like a giant nostalgia bomb for people that have been with Mario for decades. In my opinion, one of the most clever ways they played off your nostalgia is they incorporated it into the gameplay. Because you see, you can play as almost any famous Mario enemy you can think of. You can possess any enemy in this game. Okay, I know Nintendo calls it capturing, but it's really possession, and there's nothing really they can say to change my mind. Since Mario has been stomping these guys for years, longtime fans will almost instinctually know what each enemy can do when you possess or capture them. Whatever you want to call it, I don't even care at this point. And people will have favorite Mario enemies, and if you're able to become one, it's almost a euphoric feeling being able to, you know, step into their shoes for a bit. Something Nintendo does better than I think almost all of their competitors is they can polish up a game beyond belief. And boy, did they polish up Mario Odyssey. Let's start off with the graphics. Because you see, the Switch is graphically inferior to its competitors right now. But Mario Odyssey still can run with the best of the games in terms of, well, how it looks. Because it looks amazing and it runs incredible. Next, the music. Mario has always had spectacular music, and I think Mario Odyssey is probably one of the better soundtracks in the series. I still think Galaxy has a stronger soundtrack, but that's personal preference. And Nintendo's always had great music in their games. I think the only other Nintendo franchises that have come close to Mario is probably Zelda and Smash Bros. But Smash Bros doesn't count because it has literally every song in it. And there's all the little touches that Nintendo put into this game. As I said earlier about the travel brochure, that really helps make this feel like a grand adventure. And then there's little things like if you throw your hat around a dog will grab it and bring it back to you because he's just such a good boy. And if you go into one of the 8-bit sections, not only does Mario turn 8-bit, but the music does as well. If you nap somewhere long enough, a bird will land on Mario's nose. A little detail they didn't need to add, but if they did, when you go by a Goomba, they get that look of shock and start running after you. I mean, it's all the little things that add up to make this game kind of amazing. And the most polished aspect in this game, at least in my opinion, is just how Mario controls. Yeah, there are people that prefer other Mario controls like Sunshine or 64 or Galaxy or whatever. In my opinion, this is the best Mario has ever handled. And with the things you can pull off with Cappy, the jumps you can do, it's awesome. And I'm honestly going to be kind of sad if they take out some of these controls in the next Mario game. And we did it! We beat Mario Odyssey! And, well, I know it wasn't your traditional review, but I'm not your traditional reviewer because I'm just a business mogul here. Hopefully, you'll get a better review next week if your reviewer is, well, alive. But you know, I actually had a lot of fun playing Mario Odyssey. It's not a perfect game. I know it may have come across like that while playing, but there's definitely flaws with it. I mean, no game's perfect, except for maybe Tetris, but that's an entirely different discussion. With all this in mind, this random review channel gives Mario Odyssey its official review of $1 billion out of Nintendo got paid! Well, thanks for joining us today, everyone. If you could like, comment, and subscribe, that'd be great. And if we cannot tell the business corporate overlord that that clone died on my watch, because, well, I was actually one of its favorites, we're going to keep it on the DL. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, let us know what you'd want in a future review, all that fun stuff, and maybe if he passes away again, I'll have to do another review. I hope not, because it's a lot more work than I'd actually thought it would be. But anyway, have a good day everyone, hope to see you all soon.